Hello everyone, good afternoon, welcome to the stream. Time for a bit more flight sim. So here we are today at East Midlands Airport up in Derbyshire. We're going to be doing a nice sort of short flight today over to Innsbruck in Austria. Very tricky airport to fly into. It's got right in the middle of this, literally a little airstrip right in the middle of the Alps. So it will make for some interesting approaches. May even make for a diversion, depending on what the weather is. So we'll soon find out. So with that, I suppose the best thing to do is really have a quick look through the paperwork and be ready for the flight. So here we are, back onto the paperwork. Have a quick look through this. So as we can see, we are the November 525 Whiskey Tango yet again. We've got today's date. Is the correct aircraft, a CJ4. That's always a good start. We've got our maximum and estimated weights there. We can see we've got quite a bit of room on all of those. Flight levels, so it looks like by the looks of this, according to this, we are going to flight level 450. Got Echo Delta Delta Mike as our alternate. Fuel wise, we've got a trip fuel of 762 kilos. That's enough for an hour and 31 minutes. We've got our contingency for 15 minutes. That's 125 kilos as before. Our alternate fuel is going to take us 34 minutes to fly to our alternate. That gives us 234 kilos. That's enough for taking off, following the departure route, and then a full arrival into our alternate. And finally, our final reserve, which is what we've got to land with, is our 30 minutes, which is 171 kilos. That's going to give us a minimum takeoff fuel of 1,292, which is 2 hours and 50 minutes of endurance. We need 20 minutes of taxi fuel, 54 kilos. That's giving us 1,346 to begin with. We'll have a look at the weather and we'll decide if we need to take any more for that one. We've got no MEL, so nothing wrong with the aircraft as far as we're aware. We've got our routing in there, which we'll pick up, make sure it's correct once we put it into the FMC. We are estimated, scheduled out of it to go brakes off at 20 to 2 this afternoon, so in 38 minutes. It's estimating that we're going to then take off 20 minutes after that. Landing in Innsbruck, estimated at 15:31. And brakes on, estimated 15:39. Scheduled is 15:45. So it looks like we might be a few minutes early today, which is nice. Weights, we're estimating that we're carrying 7 passengers, no cargo. Gives us a payload of 540. Our estimated zero fuel weight, 5,203. Plus our fuel gives us a takeoff weight of 6,495. See there, we've got, what's that, 130? 1,300. 1,200, 1,300 kilos difference there. And our landing weight estimated to be 5733. We've got a max landing weight at 7103, again, well below that. We've got plenty of space there if we ended up taking a little bit more fuel with us. Into the flight log. This is the most important bit for us here, our most critical MORA. So our MORA is our maximum off-route altitude. So it's our sort of the highest safe altitude on our route, which is actually at Elmen, which is part of our arrival into Innsbruck. So it's actually a very important one. And like I said, we are right over in the Alps there, so we've got 11,900 feet. We'll skip for the rest of the route for now. We've got our en route winds, looks fairly sensible. Got our flight plan. This is what's been put through to VATSIM. Again, the important bit, this here, Sierra 2. We're looking like we're going to be doing a RNAV approach into Innsbruck. So that Sierra 2 there basically means, yep, we are qualified. We are, well, not, we are, the aircraft itself is certified to do that approach. Funny enough, I'm not actually qualified to do this flight in real life. It takes, to fly into Innsbruck, you need to do extra training, which not everybody gets picked for, and unfortunately, because I'm new to the company, haven't been picked for it yet. Maybe one day. So yeah, this could be an interesting one. Get to see just how difficult it really is. Right, weather. This is going to be our important one. So we've got SIGMETs. this is our significant weather en route. We've got to be cautious of, in the London area, we've got severe icing. Only forecast though from flight level, from 1,000 feet to 8,000 feet, which is not too bad. We should be through that in no time, and to be honest, we'll be out through 8,000 feet pretty much as soon as we're at the airport. It's not too bad out there. So, coming out of East Midlands, we can see this was taken today at 10:50. So instead of reading that one, I'm going to give us a more up-to-date one. Let's have a look. East Midlands weather. So here we go, most up-to-date one. I'll just read it out, skip through it quickly. It was taken at 12:20 today, so 45 minutes ago. The wind was 260 degrees at 9 knots. Well, the runway at East Midlands is 27, so we're pretty much straight down the runway there. We've got 10 kilometres of vis. Yep, I'm happy with that. I can see for miles. See right over into the... is that the Pennines over there? Scattered at 2,500. Yep, looks about right. 9 degrees and a QNH of 993 hectopascals. So quite low pressure today. The important one, though, for us is going to be this one. Innsbruck. This is where we're going. We want to know the forecast. So we were estimated in at 15:31, so 3:30. So let's look. We want an hour either side, really, to be safe. So let's look. We want to make sure we check the weather an hour before, an hour after. So we look at our forecast here. So between 9 o'clock this morning and 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, 27 degrees at 8 knots is the wind. 10 kilometres vis, brilliant. Broken at 500, that's not so great. We're looking like we're going to be coming in... What's runway is that going to be? 26. Yeah, I mean, on 26, if I remember rightly, it's quite high. It's about 1,000 feet, maybe a little bit more is the minima above the aerodrome. So we could be in cloud. That could potentially fuck our day up there. Highs of 12 degrees, lows of 3 degrees. Not a bad day over there. We've got a tempo between 9 this morning and 10 this morning. Not interested in that. Becoming between 9 and 11. Perfect. This is what we're after. Few at 1,000. Broken at 10,000. That we can live with. Few at 1,000. Odds are I'm still going to be able to see the runway through that. So if that's what it's like when we get there, I'm happy with that. Becoming between 11 and 1. That wind is swinging right round. 070 degrees at 12 knots, gusting 25. Now that is windy. It's near enough straight down the runway, which is not too bad. However, we do have this tempo. So we've got temporary weather between midday and 6 o'clock of 130 at 15, gusting 30. So what's that going to be? That is pretty much 60 degrees off, 50 degrees off the runway. So it's near enough a full crosswind. At 15 knots are okay. The gusting 30 is what's going to screw us over a little bit. We don't normally take gusts into account, but obviously you've got to be aware they're there. Last thing you want is to catch a gust on the way down. So, becoming from 18 tonight. So again, if it's 070, that's fine. That's straight down the runway. If it's this one, we could be in for a bit of a bumpy ride going in there. So let's check the weather at Munich. In case we have to take our alternate, we have got between 6 and 12, 2208, 10 kilometres vis, scattered at 2,000, broken at 4,000. Not too bad. Prob 30, tempo, so there's a 30% chance of some temporary weather between 9 this morning and 6 this afternoon of just rain. That's okay, can live with a bit of rain. Between 10 and 1, not interested. Becoming between 2 and 4. 240 at 15, gusting 30. So still quite breezy, but Munich's a lot easier to get into. So I'm not too worried about that. Same as I'm not too worried. That's tempo later on. So that's the only thing that could be a bit screw us over a little bit is the wind today. NOTAMs, mainly just, obviously, it doesn't really apply too much in a flight sim. The only thing really in here would be SNOTAMs. Just let us know if there's any ice or anything on the ground. Not expecting anything today. There's nothing in there. Obstacle lights in that US, obviously, they ain't going to be US in the sim. And COVID-19 stuff. We're pretending COVID-19 doesn't exist. So let's scroll through all these. Not interested in these. Lots of COVID stuff. Fuck me, it goes on a while, doesn't it? There we go. Right, here's a little overview of our route. So here we are up at East Midlands, going down over London. Out over the sort of southeast. Over into Belgium, cross Germany, and then down into Austria. And then obviously if we need our diversion, just up there to EGNX, which is Munich. So, SIG weather. We're taking off here. We're just missing this little bit of SIG weather here. So, just to the north of us, we've got... This little symbol means moderate icing between... well, it's got tops of 13,000 feet. And it goes below the chart. Well, the chart goes down to flight level 100. So, it's somewhere under flight level 100 is the bottom of it. We do get, again, quite close to it over here. But by that point, we'll be well above it. We're going up to about 45,000 feet today. So... that's not an issue at all. We are, however, catching this little bit here. Only just, but again, it's only up to flight level 160, so we'll be well above that. Not too worried about that. We've got this jet stream here, which is at flight level 300. We're 15,000 feet above that. Not too worried about that. The two bits I am concerned about, though, are these dotted lines here. So this is clear air turbulence. So as you can see, clear air turbulence, this number one is what's surrounding this jet stream. Around jet streams, you do get a lot of turbulence. Nice and smooth in the middle, right in the core of it. A lot of turbulence around the edge. So, number one. Number one is moderate between 19,000 feet and 30,000 feet. We should be above that. We might catch it a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to take us really to climb up to 45,000 feet. Depends if London slow our climb down. If that's the case, we might just catch it coming out. But nothing to worry about there. Going into Innsbruck. This here, so we've got moderate, occasionally severe. Now, severe turbulence, not great. You don't really want to be flying into that. That's from 21,000 feet down to below the chart. Now, see, that's where potentially we could, we could be in for a very bumpy approach into Innsbruck. Because we're going to be descending down into that. Innsbruck is sat in the middle of that. So, should make for an interesting flight. That's for sure. And again, this is just basically... when's this? This is valid between flight level 250 and 630. So obviously we're at 450. We want to see the weather above us just in case. That's fine. We're still above that. Pretty much crosswind the entire way there. A little bit of tailwind as we go down. Quite strong as we go down into mainland Europe. So it's going to make for a very, very interesting flight today, especially for somewhere I've never actually flown into. So this could be fun. Fun's not really the word there, is it? I'm thinking of. Could be terrible. Could be absolutely terrible. Right, let's get back into the flight sim. Let's get this thing going. Let's probably get Stream Manager back up in case anyone decides to have a little bit of a chat. Feel free to have a chat. How is everyone today, actually? First of all, I haven't asked that yet. How is everyone today? Right. Let's get the battery on. Battery's on. Get the checklist up. Want a normal checklist? Come on. Sometimes takes a little while to pick up. There we go. Before starting engine. So, battery switch is on. Just done that. Emergency light switch is armed. Standby flight display switch. That's on. As you can see, that's on. There's our standby flight display. Avionics switch to dispatch. That goes down there. Parking brake is set. Yes, it is. Wheel chocks removed. Yeah, I'm sure they're probably removed. Cabin door closed, or I can't open it, so that's probably a good thing. Passenger briefing complete. Yeah, just put your belts on, don't die. G11Y. I'm good, mate. Catching your first stream that I've seen. Never watched Flight Sim before. Looking forward to the flight. Welcome to the stream. You've picked an interesting one, that's for sure. You picked one of the better ones. Seats and belts. Yeah, they're just as secure. Exterior lights. The only one I want on for now is the nav lights. Those are red and green lights on the end of the wings. This is just to let people know we've got power on. ICAS check. Low oil pressure, low fuel pressure, and we're on battery. What we expect. The engines aren't running. Of course, we've got low pressure. Right, FMS. Before we do that, let's set our weights, because I forgot to do that before. Normally do it before the stream, and I forgot to do it, because I'm a bit of an idiot. How much fuel did I say? It was saying 1346 on the thing. We'll round that to 1400. With the weather, I want to take a little bit more in case we have to go around or anything like that, and, you know, gives us a chance to make another approach and decide what we're going to do. I'm going to take 2 tons, an extra 600 kilos. We know we can take that, so I'm going to cheat. Annoyingly, Flight Sim won't actually let me put 1,006 in each. Perfect. Flight Sim won't let me put kilos in there. If I try to type it in, it doesn't like it. It's a weird bug where unless you write it in pounds, it doesn't like it. So even in kilos, if I write a 1, it won't come up as a 1. It will come up as whatever £1 is in kilos. It's like, what? 2 point... No, wrong way around. I don't know. Whatever a pound is in kilos. Right, FMS. Telling us to initialize position. So we checked this. We've got the world data. Active data is valid between... Oh, it's actually out of date, but we'll ignore that. We can just do that. Make sure it's up to date. Shh. Right, yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's up to date. That's where we are. Looks correct. FMS position gives us that. GPS gives us that. They look similar. They're identical. That's what we want. What's quite nice is I can download my route, which I've stored on simbrief.com. That's going to add our route into us automatically, which is nice. There it is. Let's check that over. One thing I am going to do is say we're doing the Daventry 3 November departure. Well, that's what we're expecting. And let's put the arrival in. I'm expecting that wind to have swung round. So I want RNAV. Is it 8 Yankee, I believe? Because I can only do one of them. There's 2 approaches for runway 08. And I can only do one of them. Approach. Runway 08. Yeah, so we've got runway RMP Yankee, runway 08, RMP Zulu. Zulu 1's got a little AR after me. It means authentication required. I don't have that. So we're doing an RNAV approach. An RNAV approach is basically a radio approach. And I've already forgot what approach I was doing. It was the Madeb, I believe. This is the problem when I've been out of flying for so long now. I can't fucking remember what I'm doing. Right, yes, the Madeb 1. Madeb 1 Bravo. With an LMM transition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the flight plan page. I've got the route up in front of me. And let's have a look. I'll just read it out to make sure it's correct. So we can see we've got the Daventry 3 November to Daventry. Lovely. Mike 605 to Finma. Why have we got that direct in there to Daventry? We only want one Daventry. There we go. Mike 605 to Finma. Lima 15 to Biggin. Upper Lima 9 to Conan. Upper Lima 607 to Cock. See, there we go. This is, as I said last week, we're going from big to cock. Perfect. What a routing. The Mike 150 to Pitters, direct to Adiza, direct to Batub. Mike 738 to Madeb, and then the Madeb 1 Bravo. Perfect, I'm happy with that. Performance, we said we had 7 passengers on board. Take off. Right, we need the weather. Fortunately, I'll just double check. I don't think on VATSIM there's a controller covering us at the moment. I could be wrong. Has one been out? Nope, not one in there. Lovely. So we just go off the METAR for now. Which was wind of 2709. Temperature of 9 degrees. QNH of 9 and 9 and 3 hectopascals. We can also set that in there. Scroll, 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 scroll. There we go. What's that giving us? About 300 feet. That's about right for East Midlands. Lovely. That's performance set. That's going to give us a V1 of 105. That's our decision speed, whether we take off or we stop. Above that, we're taking off. Rotation speed of 106 knots. A V2, which is our minimum safe climb speed, 116. And a VT, not sure what VT is, 140. Should probably look that up. Done. Sent. That's put this now on this screen once this is active. So, click. Climate control selector, off. Lovely. Next is starting the engines. Now, I'm new to VATSIM. We're all aware of this. As far as I'm aware, there's no controller covering East Midlands at the moment. However, there is a London control which covers the same area we're in. So I believe I'm supposed to contact him to go, can I have my clearance and can I start my engines? So he's on 127.1. If I got this wrong, you all get to laugh at me. So I've lost my thing now. Where's me? There it is. 127.1.
London on frequency 134120.
You'll have to let me know if that's too loud. Sounds a bit loud to me, but I've got the set it lower in Discord, not Discord. OBS. One of them. Right, should we give him a call?
Level 310.
Wait for him to shut up a minute. Got my piece of paper ready.
London control feedback, 66 with you, mark 0.82.
So there's two stations. Tango Alpha Romeo 06 London, hello. Nogra 1 hotel arrival. When ready, descend flight level 290.
Descending to 290.
Fucking hell. Come on.
Speedbird 66 London control, hello. Logan 2 hotel arrival. When ready, descend flight level 290.
Wait for the guy to reply.
Arrival and descent 290 for 066.
Sorry, it's complete rubbish information I give you there. Try again. Nogra 1 hotel and descend flight level 290.
Yeah, that's one I get. Nogra 1 hotel and descent 290 for 066.
A Giant 8999 route direct to Delta Tango Yankee Daventry.
Fucking hell, come on. I wanna get my message in.
Giant 8999.
London, hello. November 525 Whiskey Tango is on stand 7 at Echo Golf November X-Ray, looking for clearance to Innsbruck.
KLM 124, route direct to Redford, climb flight level 230.
Redirect to Redford, clear level 230, KLM 124.
Shanix, is it Shanix or Thomas Cook? Kestrel 544 is in descend flight level 110.
110, Kestrel 544, thanks.
And 544, fly heading 275 for me.
Oh my god.
Kestrel
He's
544,
quite
fly
busy,
heading
to be fair.
275.
Heading 275, Kestrel 544.
Austrian 74, you with me?
I might type my message to him, just so he can let's try him again.
Zap 323 on the ground, stand said Romeo 1 for departure. Zap 323 London, good afternoon, runway 22, you're clear for takeoff, 300 degrees 5 knots. Clear for takeoff at a runway at 22 Zap 323.
And London, hello, November 525 Whiskey Tango is at Echo Golf November X-Ray, stand 7, request clearance to Innsbruck.
November 525 Whiskey Tango, London, hello, clearance Innsbruck on the Daventry 3 November departure, runway 27, squawk 3527.
Cleared on the Daventry 3 November departure, squawk 3527, November 525 Whiskey Tango. Lovely. There we go. Finally,
Tango
got our
Alpha Romeo
clearance.
06, descend flight level 200.
So he's asked us to squawk 3527. That's basically the code he sees on his screen. Lovely. And we have got in here Daventry 3 November. Perfect. That's what we expected.
Request gate for the KLM
So,
355.
what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip back over to the
KLM
paperwork.
355, welcome.
Take a look at the right-hand side.
55
We
left
can
via
have a look
Alpha
at... I'm going to
Delta.
have to Mute him a second, I can't fucking hear a thing. We're going to have a look
Stand
at
55
our
left
routing
here,
out here. So
Alpha
currently, we are on
and Vector.
stand 7
55.
over here. So once we've started up and we're ready to taxi, I'm expecting to go straight out onto Romeo. Well, this is the route I probably will end up taking. It's going to be straight onto Romeo. Once we come out of Romeo, we're on 27, so we're going to take a right turn onto Alpha. And then we're going to follow Alpha all the way down to the end. He might give us Whiskey 1. If he does, brilliant. If not, we're going to go right down to Alpha 1, and that's where we're going to call him that we're ready. And from there, we're on to the departure. So, do a quick emergency brief now. If, for some reason, we have an issue below 80 knots, doesn't matter what the issue is, I'm going to stop. Above 80 knots, I'm only going to stop if we've got an engine failure or a failure warning, an engine fire, control malfunction, normally a block runway, but we're in flight sim, there's a good chance someone might just spawn in front of us, so if it's a block runway, honestly, we're probably going to ignore it. And if we get wind shear, which is a sudden change in wind, basically we're going to not even be able to take off at that point. If we've got to V1 and we have an issue, such as an engine failure, doesn't matter, we're going to continue, we're going to take off. We are going to do absolutely nothing below 400 feet, other than raise the landing gear once we've got a positive rate of climb. At 400 feet, I'm going to look what the malfunction is.
There's coverage in the UK all the way to the
memory
Irish
items I need to get the
FIR,
engine
so
shut down and
basically,
safe.
Shannick.
Once we're about 1,000 feet above the airport, I'm going to start accelerating and getting those flaps up. Once we've got the flaps up, we're going to come back to climb thrust.
For me or the next
we're going
controller,
to
sorry.
engage the autopilot. We're going to climb straight ahead and get above the MSA, which
The boundary, sorry, the boundary would be Bagso.
is. So let's have a look. It should say on here. Is where it says 2,700, 2,500. We're going to climb to 3,000 feet. We're going to be safe. We're going to climb to 3,000 feet. Now it's a flight sim, so I can tell you now, nothing should go wrong, which is probably a good thing. In which case, we're going to be following our departure. So hopefully you can see this. I haven't checked if you can see this. So we have got the chart here for Echo Golf November X-Ray, which is East Midlands. It's page 10-3 Alpha, and it's effective from the 28th of July 2017.
1090, Kestrel 544.
We're doing the Daventry 3 November. We've got a few notes to go through. We've got a transition altitude of 6,000 feet. That's the point where we change from altitude to flight levels.
2 stations, 1 Alpine 64.
We've got, when instructed, contact London Control after takeoff. We're already speaking to London Control, so that's good.
London Control, hello. It's a...
SIDs include noise preferential routings, that's just taking us away from any housing estates, things like that, where people like to complain because for some reason they decided to live next door to an airport and then complain about the noise.
And
funny that. Who would have known no airport would be noisy, eh? CPDLC doesn't apply to us. Cruising levels will be allocated by London Control. That's fine. So let's go for the route. We've got a big red warning here. Max speed 250 knots below flight level 100. That's fine. I'm going to be climbing up 240 knots anyway. The only thing is, we're probably going to get... Well, we are going to be at flight level 90 before we get to the end of this. So we've just got to make sure when this starts to level out, we don't just suddenly start fucking screaming off down the approach. We're going to keep it about 240. It just means
lovely. Speed 290.
So for our routing then,
level 150.
We are coming out of here, off the runway. At 1 mile, we're going to make a left turn to track 225 until we get to this 6.5D. Routing. Climb straight ahead to 1 mile. Left turn 225 track at 6.5D. Which is 6.5 miles from the India Echo Mike Echo, which is the runway itself. We're going to make a left turn to cross the 7 mile point at or above 3,000 feet. I've got that in the FMC. We're going to intercept the 340 radial from Daventry. So here's Daventry, 340, basically 340 degrees out of it this way. So we're taking the opposite in, which is 160 degrees. We're going to follow that basically all the way to Daventry. We've got a few altitude restrictions. We need to cross 31 miles from that Daventry VOR above 5,500 feet, but below flight level 90, at or below. And we need to cross 23 miles from Daventry at flight level 90. And we continue that to Daventry. Once we get to Daventry, we should be given, we might be given a climb earlier than that, to be honest. ATC can clear us above it. Hence the warnings here. So we've got a warning, do not climb above flight level 90 until cleared by ATC. So if we're halfway here, and ATC go, yeah,
Quebec Hotel,
no restrictions,
control, frequency
climb to flight level 230, something like that. That's fine. As long as they tell us there's no restrictions. No turns below 810 feet. So we've got 1 mile here, but if we got to 1 mile and we haven't reached 810 feet, be a bit worried why we haven't, but if we hadn't, we don't turn that point. We wait until we get to 810
London
feet.
Control,
Right.
Roger.
Back to the flight sim.
Turn right 050 degrees and climb flight level 190.
We're ready to start the engines. I need to call him again. This is going to be fun.
Right heading 050 degrees. Climb.
Let me get this up. The radio chatter is louder than you're talking. Yeah, I tried to mess with it earlier. Let me turn it down a little bit. There we go. That should be a little bit quieter now. I tried to mess with it earlier, and it's a real pain in the arse because no one has control over their fucking mic volume on there. You'll get someone who fucking comes through really quiet like this, and then the next person starts shouting down the mic. And it's like, for fuck's sake. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you. You'll have to if it isn't. Either way, I've got to contact him again now anyway, because we need to get these engines started and get the fuck out of here. Which means waiting 20 minutes now for him to have a bloody gap again.
5,000 feet, 993 for Kestrel 544.
And you can turn right heading 300 degrees.
300 degrees, Kestrel 544.
And November 525 Whiskey Tango request engine start. Right, lovely. We can start these engines. So, throttles. Idle. Tick. Engine start button. So we're going to push. These are right. Make sure these are saying stop. Occasionally I've loaded up this aircraft and they're already in run. Not ideal. So what we do, I'm going to close this checklist down. Start the engine so I can see this. I'm also going to bring up the system page so we can check the fuel flow. We press our engine starter button. We press our start button. And now what we do, we look back up here, we can see we have got a starter warning come up, means the starter's on. Our N1 rotation is going up, that's good. Our N2 rotation is going up. Oil temperature's going up, oil pressure's going up. Our ignition light's on, and we've got temperature. That's good. Now we can watch it and basically make sure. We also can check we've got fuel flow. Kind of an important thing. We've got all those things, the engine's starting normally. We just keep an eye on it now until this starter goes out. This starter should go out around 51% N2. So we're waiting, and we're waiting, and there we go, that's gone off. Everything's in the green. It's all stabilised, lovely. Let's start the second engine. Forgot to put the beacon light on. Left engine starter. Hit the run button. Again, starter. N1 rotation, sort of. N2 rotation. Oil pressure is increasing. Oil temperature's increasing. Fuel flow and ignition light. And any second now. We have ITT, we have temperatures. That means these engines are starting. And we're waiting. And we're waiting. And we're waiting. Starter's out. Everything's up. Everything's stable. Perfect. Right. Get the checklist back up. The engines are started. We can go tick, 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 tick. Right. Avionics switch. That's got to go on. Climate control selector to normal. We can give people a bit of air. Passenger light safety button. Let's go click and click. Trims. I'm going to set Make sure they're both in the green. They're both in the green. Lovely. Flight controls. So we go full forward. In fact, we can do this on the outside so we can make sure it's working. Full forwards. Full back. Full left. Full right, and the rudders. Centre. Full left. Centre. And full right. So there we go. Flight controls are all free and correct. Speed brakes. Let's make sure those go up. Click. And make sure they go back down again. Click. Flaps to 15. Hydraulic pressure is check 3000 psi both sides. Engine anti-ice we don't need. Takeoff data is confirmed as set. Avionics is set. The only thing I am going to do is, we'll come back to that actually, don't need to do it yet. Avionics are fine. Autopilot engage.
Autopilot.
Disconnect. And take off the yaw damper. I'm also going to engage V now, ready for the departure. Altimeter check and set. So we said 993, it's set there, and 993. It's a long way to scroll down. Lovely, 993. They both read within, like, 100 feet of each other. Pressurization is set, can't do that on here anyway. Checklist, we want to make sure, cast page, check that, nothing there. After divider doors latched open. Right, the only thing I'm going to do is set our altitude. We know we can go straight to flight level 90, he's not giving us anything different. So I'm going to set 9,000 feet, and then as we're climbing, I will switch to standard pressure. Right, we are ready for taxi. I've got to call in for taxi. Making lunch was a bloody mission. Why was it a bloody mission, Ginger Squid? Right. I'm going to run for a piss before we go. So I'll be back in 30 seconds. Have some music.
Heading 170 to green, easy 15.
Seabird 911 route direct Boston, Bravo November.
Speedbird 611.
Hello, Bravo November. Thank you, and contact London on frequency 134125. Bye-bye. 134125.
And I'm back again. My old med's leaving my system, and I feel drunk without actually being drunk, so I'm majorly spaced out. That kind of sounds fun? Would it be wrong of me to say that sounds like it should be fun? Right. Let's try and get a taxi out of him. And November 525 Whiskey Tango is ready for taxi. Taxi Alpha 1, hold Alpha 1, November 525 Whiskey Tango. Right, lovely. It's Alpha 1, which is what we said. We're all ready to go, everything's set up. Let's take the parking brake off. And away we go. Come on, start moving. There we go. There's a fucking van in the way.
Flight level 150, easy 15.
There we go. I'm just going to put that up on there so you can see where I'm taxiing to. So we're going to right turn out of here. all the way down to the end for Alpha 1. It is fun, just disorientating when I'm walking. I mean, it's a very cheap way of getting pissed, isn't it? Ah, finally ready to go, eh? We're off on time as well. That's always a good start when we leave on time. Can confirm.
London Control, hello.
Try VR. Oh my god, that would make you so sick to try VR whilst you're sort of feeling a bit drunk. Well, this is nice. I used to fly out of East Midlands. I was there for about just under a year, maybe. It's a nice enough airport. They're just at this part of the airport here, where this building is now. They're building a brand new cargo place. It's huge. And then just the other side, you've got that building there with the orange top. It's actually a massive Amazon warehouse. East Midlands is a huge cargo hub. It's massive. And then you have the cooling towers as well in the distance, but I doubt they're on here. 2 big cooling towers. So we can go all the way to Alpha 1. This little stop line here, that's if low visibility procedures are in force and they're having to use the Cat 3 ILS to stop you interfering. Jeff is yeah, I saw that. It's because he's going to be busy like stealing the moon or something, isn't he? Right. Let's get our before takeoff checklist done. Ice protection system, checked. Radar bias, checked. Seats are upright. Flaps, 15. Speed brakes, make sure they're at 0, which they are. Trims, make sure all 3 in the green. That one's moved, so we go tick, 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 down until it's in the green. Perfect. Crew briefing, complete. You've all had a good briefing. You're all my crew today. So, as far as I'm concerned, you're good to go. Unless anyone has any questions, in which case I'd hurry up and type them because we're going to be fucking off soon. TCAS, let's go. TCAS to TARA. I should also probably make sure I've got mode C turned on there, which I do. Lovely. Weather radar. So I'm going to have the weather radar on my side. And I'm going to have terrain on this side. Perfect. Go around button. Normally, it's there. Can't have that on Flight Sim, so we're using this one. That should give us TO and VTO on there, and 10 degrees nose up. Lovely. Battery amps, verify 20 or less. We got minus 20. Minus 20 is less than 20. Ice protection system as required. We don't need them on. Pitot static heat is on. Exterior lights. Right. We're pretty much ready. We've got to put the strobe on when we cross onto the runway, and the landing light once we are cleared to depart. Finally, check the ICAS page. Right, should we give him a call? Tell him we're ready. Let's get rid of that first. And now we wait. Come on. Let's get a gap.
Flight heading 330 degrees for me.
Flight heading 330 degrees, channel 66, Foxtrot Tango.
And November 525 Whiskey Tango is ready for departure. Fuck. Might have stepped on someone there by accident, never mind.
November 525 Whiskey Tango,
Clear takeoff runway 27 over 525 Whiskey Tango. Right, we are good to go. Let's get strobe lights on, landing lights on, parking brake off, and let's get on the runway. Come on, start moving. There we go. I think this guy might be getting a little bit overwhelmed, don't you? He'll probably fuck us off as soon as we're airborne. May sound like a stupid question. Would you appear on flight radar? So no, I won't appear on flight radar, but there are so many apps out there, which is like a VATSIM flight radar, and I will appear on that one. They look very similar, you know. You just see all these little planes around and stuff. But it's only for people only people who are currently on VATSIM, which I don't really still know what this is, but it's kind of cool. Right, we're on the runway 27, clear to go. Start my timer. Got the little lapse timer here, and well, full power. Let's go. Looking down the runway. There's V1 and rotate. Positive rate, let's get the gear up. Lovely. Get the flaps up. Flaps are up, let's get the yaw damper on. Let's get the nav on. FLC mode. Set 240. Lovely. Get the autopilot on. Bring back to climb power. And there we go, we're climbing. Right, we are we're going all the way up to flight level 90. So we're going to switch now to standard. Switch to set 1013. I'm also going to sync my heading. Let's set 1013. We're above MSA, so we're going to set 1013 on both sides now. Takes so long to scroll this fucking thing. 1013. Daniel's laughing because I'm sat looking at planes on radar. Hey, radar's fun. I'm going to try and see how many rare ones you can find. So this is what I was saying. Look how quickly we've got to flight level 90 near enough. Right. Should we do our after takeoff checklist? Get a checklist back up. Takeoff's done. After takeoff, landing gear up, flaps up, throttles to climb, yaw damper is on, autopilot's on, ice protection's on, passenger lights leave on, landing lights on leaving on for now, pressurization's checked, altimeters are set and cross-checked. We've got 1,000 feet to go. That was quick. It's a very busy departure, that. But we're out. This thing climbs so quick, it's ridiculous. So, oh, don't want to let it go too fast. We've got a little bit over there. I think anybody noticed. Mark got away with that one. Blame it on the wind. Bloody wind. There we are. Flight level 90. We're below 250 knots. And now we sit here until we reach Daventry, or we're told to climb. Let's have a look at the views. What a lovely day. It is a lovely day, isn't it? still love the graphics in this game. I will say, when we get to Innsbruck, the graphics in the Alps are beautiful. We are level at flight level 90, November 525, Whiskey Tango. Roger, November 525, Whiskey Tango. There we go. So now we know we're going to get a bit more of a climb in about 2 miles, which is fine. I'm happy with that. We'll stay here for a minute. The issue is this thing just climbs so quick, it's unbelievable. This guy is so busy. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But then this is what controllers like. In real life, this is how busy they get. Busier than this sometimes. It's, you know...
Beep, beep, motherfucker!
Denied Monkey, thank you for the follow. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. Good, man. It's nice to hear. Oh, it's better. Needed a drink. Oh, he's back. He's gone for his piss. That doesn't happen too much in real life. Let's be honest. Ooh, what's down there? That looks like an airport to me. Could that be? I believe. Is that Birmingham? Someone will have to tell me. Someone will have to use the... whatever it's called, what I've got.
Yeah, I do. I don't know what happened there. I know why.
No, Birmingham's off to our right.
Don't worry, it might be me. Anyway, we'll sort it out. Find that one.
Birmingham Airport's off to our right somewhere. Under the cloud. Sounds about right. Somewhere over there. I don't know. Well, I don't know what happened to my climb in 2 miles. We've gone more than 2 miles. We'll wait and see.
Sorry, what was the frequency change? 134,
Climb flight level 200, November 525, Whiskey Tango. Lovely. We're cleared to fly to flight level 200, so we're going to set to flight level 200 in our altitude window. So, flight level 200, I've confirmed that's flight level 200. We're going to climb in FLC mode and set 240 knots. Lovely. And what we need to do is set climb power. There we go. We've got climb power. 240 knots. And we'll be up there in no time at all. There we go. We're through 10,000 feet. So through 10,000 feet, I'm going to turn the landing lights off. And I'm going to turn the seatbelt signs off. Climb flight level 230, November 525, Whiskey Tango. Lovely. So we can climb to flight level 230. So we're going to set 230 in our altitude window again. Flight level 230 is in there and confirmed. Like I said, this thing screams up. We are currently climbing at 3,670 feet per minute. That's quick. That is stupidly quick. What a lovely day, though. Hey, look at that. You can see for miles today. We'll see if we can get some nice views over London when we get down that way, because we are going pretty much directly over the top of London. So we'll see if we can get a good view. Depends what the weather's like down there. If it's anything like this, you might be able to see spots of London. Ginger Squid, look out, you might see your house. We're going near Slough. Oh shit! I dropped my bottle lid. Where are we? So we've just gone past 17,000 feet. That's not too bad. We're back into chill flight mode now. Nice relaxing music. An ambulance plane. Yeah, you get a few of those, like the Medivac ones. They get used like, for instance, say you get quite severely injured on holiday. It'll be a little jet like this, actually, that'll bring you back in. You do see them occasionally at the airports, so as you're taxiing out, they do tend to be at a slightly different end of the airport, but usually you taxi past them. We do, in real life, if we're taxiing, we try, if we've got to stop near them, we try to stop in such a way that... Oh, stand by. 127.825, number 525, Whiskey Tango. 127.825. 127.825. That's 85. 825. Oh, we've got 1,000 feet to go. Let's make sure this levels out where it's supposed to. We can let the speed increase as well now. London, hello, November 525. Whiskey Tango is leveling off at flight level 230. Continue climb, flight level 450, November 525, Whiskey Tango. Lovely, we are... 330, November, Whiskey Tango. Right, we can go to 330. 4, 3, 2, 1, there we go. Nope, too much. 330, we can see, FLC. Back to 240. And we begin climbing. We've got 10,000 feet to go. We are just going into some cloud, and the outside temperature is minus 38 degrees. 39. I will turn the anti-ice on for now. Once we get below about minus 42, I'll turn it back off again. Because we're actually a bit too cold to pick up ice. Weird thing, I know, but it's a weird fact. Too cold to collect ice. There we go. Minus 42. Let's turn that off. So yeah, as I was saying, the ambulance planes, yeah. So if you get severely injured when you're on holiday, and you've got insurance, they'll usually send a little plane like this out to pick you up. So like if you're on a stretcher, like especially if you've broken your back or something like that, or damaged your neck and you have to be on a stretcher. You do see them quite regularly at airports, especially in especially skiing places, like where we're going today. They do try to keep them at another end of the airport to keep them out of view of people, because you know it's not very nice. It's not nice for either side, is it really? And then if we're taxiing past them and we have to stop, we usually do try and stop like just before them in such a way so you can't passengers can't see them out the side windows, basically, because it's not a nice sight. You know, you've got this ambulance pulled up and there's someone being pulled out of a stretcher and they're like strapped down and got all sorts of machines on them and stuff. No one wants to see that. It's, you know, it's not nice for the person who's on the stretcher, and it's not nice for people who seeing it, who are just on their holidays, you know. but they're quite common. I've got a friend who does them, flies those as sort of a side gig. Let's have a look outside. I don't think we're going to see London, annoyingly, which is a shame. It's a bit too cloudy. I think it might be like this for the rest of the journey, but this is flying for you. This is what it's like. Let's sink that heading bug again. There we go. So we're coming up on 30,000 feet. This guy sounds a bit happier than the last guy, doesn't he? I think the last guy was just a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of aircraft around. This is a bit quieter here. We can sit, chill, listen to the music. Hey, we have an ETA. I've only just noticed that. The ETA is actually working this week.
Altitude.
Right, we've got less than 1,000 feet to go. So what we're going to do, when we hear that altitude, that means we've got 1,000 feet to go. So we can just keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't just sort of blow straight through it.
Mark 76, 19396.
What is that accent? That is the most Cockney accent I think I've ever heard. What, mate? Flying flight level 450, remember, Whiskey Tango. Right, we are clear to flight level 450. That's our cruising altitude. So let's set 450. Come on. 450. FLC. So now we've gone into Mach numbers. So we want Mach decimal 64 to climb at. And we're going to fly this up to 45,000 feet. That is the absolute maximum this aircraft can reach. It's also a lot higher than most of your commercial aircraft will fly. So, you know, your 737s and whatnot. Direct Conan, November Whiskey Tango. Right, we can go direct to Conan. A little shortcut there. Direct Conan, lovely, that's in there. We'll execute that. That's good. What did he say? Something to do with his cheese toasty. So not are we going to Cock, we're also going to Dick. Lovely. What a routing. We're going Big Cock Dick. It's my favourite routing. Oh, I should probably look. When do we start our top of descent? How do I bring it up on this thing? It is in performance, VNav, monitor, 432 miles. So as soon as we get to 45,000 feet, we'll start having a little bit of a look through the arrival, because it's a tricky arrival. A beam, right? It's pretty. It is pretty. Even just looking at clouds, isn't it? I mean, it's you know, it is very nice. It'd be better if we could see the ground. We've got little gaps like that. I believe that's London, part of London down there. Where are we? Someone tell me where we are, because I can't fucking see. Where are we? Oh, we are currently over London City Airport, near enough. It's just off to our left. We can't quite see that. But that is pretty much directly the centre of London. We're over. Do that. Get a little gap. And that's about as good as we're going to get. I think it's going to be like this pretty much the entire way. Roger. 39,000 feet. We're still going. So he's giving us direct to Conan. Conan will be the edge of his area that he covers. That's the boundary where we switch from London to Brussels, I would have thought would be next. I don't think anyone's covering Brussels at the moment, so once we get to Conan, he will tell us, off you go speak to Unicom. Why are we flying so high? Right, the reason we're flying so high is, the higher you go, the thinner the air gets. So the thinner the air gets, the faster we go, there's less resistance. Obviously there is a limit to how high we can go. You know, for a start, we need air for the engines, things like that. We need air to hold us up. So the manufacturers set a limit on how high you can go. 45,000 feet is the limit in this. So in a perfect world, you'd always fly as high as you can. There are things that dictate that, like the weather is obviously the big one. So wind, for instance. Even though the air's thinner at 45,000 feet, the wind might be a lot stronger as a tailwind at 40,000 feet. In which case, you might be better off at 40,000 feet. It'll be faster and use less fuel. In this case, the wind, as we can see, is fairly equal. It's pretty much a tailwind, a little bit from the right, but mainly a tailwind. And it's staying pretty steady at 40 knots, no matter how high we go. So, mixture of a strong tailwind plus that thinner air means we just go a lot faster. That's why our indicated airspeed at the moment is 189 knots. That is the speed that air is flowing over our wings at. But because the air's a lot thinner, and because we've got that tailwind, we are actually going along the ground at 409 knots. And we're still in a climb at the moment. We're not even in our cruise, so we'll be going even faster. So even in a climb, we're still going over the ground at 450-ish miles an hour. When we get into the cruise, we'll be well over 500 miles an hour. It's quite nice as well. These higher air levels. What am I on about? Higher flight levels. Like I said last week. So because your commercial jets, you know, you go on holiday on, can't fly as high as this. There's a lot less traffic at 45,000 feet than there is at, say, 37,000 feet. 37,000 feet, fucking every airliner in the world tends to fly around there. 45, there's a lot less traffic, which means you got more chance of getting things like shortcuts and stuff like that, because odds are you're not going to come across another aircraft. Obviously, that's more in the real world, but like I said, saying that, he has given us a bit of a shortcut going straight to Conan. It's cut off a bit of a corner. We're cutting the corner at over London. If we look around, so the only thing really that's up here is that A320 over there, and he's at 35,000 feet, and that's it. We've got a 747 down there, which is climbing. He's still at 19,000 feet. So this is what I mean. There's no one else around, which is really nice. Makes it a lot chill, a lot more chill for us. How far from Conan are we? 43 miles. So as we start getting a bit closer, I'm expecting him to tell us to contact whoever they're called. What are they called? Unicom. That's the one. I'll have a quick look. I don't think anyone's covering Brussels area at the moment. Oh, no. I believe someone is covering Brussels. Brussels has just opened. So we might actually be speaking to someone else after him. This will be fun. Be interesting. We've got 2,000 feet to go. 131. 131.1 November Whiskey Tango. Lovely. Helps if I press the button when I talk to him. 131.1. So 131.1. I want to get him. I want to get him before he does. Brussels, hello, November 525 Whiskey Tango, climbing flight level 450. Continue climb, November Whiskey Tango. Lovely. So, as we expected, then we've gone over to Brussels. He's just told us, carry on the way you're going. Carry on climbing to 45,000 feet. That's it. There's nothing else around. There's no other traffic at my level, which is nice. In fact, looking at a VATSIM map now, can I see myself? Where am I? There I am, November 525 Whiskey Tango. We've got another aircraft nearby, but he is only at flight level 230. That's that guy that's just spoke. Because we're both going the same direction, but I'm well above him. In fact, looking at it, in the whole of Brussels area at the moment, we're the highest. We've got a 350, 370, 320. Got 1,000 feet to go as well now until we level out. We are higher than anybody else. Oh yeah. Da -da 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 -da. Right, okay. So here we go, we're starting to level out. Now, because obviously we're getting up to the maximum what this aircraft can handle, our rate of climb has just dropped to the floor. We're only climbing at 500 feet a minute now. We were like nearly at 5,000 feet a minute at one point. So being we're at the absolute maximum this aircraft can handle, this is the point now where if we started to pick up a bit of turbulence and our speed was bouncing all over the place, we wanted to descend a bit. It gives us a bit more of a gap between our maximum and minimum speeds. So the guys below us, Maxime Defontaine, what a name. Where's he going? He's going from Gatwick to Brussels. He's in a 747 800 at 23,000 feet. He's only going along the ground at the moment. He's levelled, so he's cruising, and he's only at 386 knots ground speed. We're still climbing, and we're doing 409. That's the difference. And our tailwind's got even stronger. This is the difference. This is the reason for flying so high. Is you go faster. And faster is always better. So it's going to take a little while for our speed. I want to hold it sort of decimal 7.5 on the Mac, which is 3/4 the speed of sound at this level. Obviously it's much colder up here, so the speed of sound is much higher. What are we forecast? We're forecast at decimal 7.3 actually is what we're planned to be travelling at. There we go, 45,000 feet, we're here. I'm going to go back to cruise and let that speed increase. It's going to take a little while, but we'll keep an eye on it. Right. Let's start going over the approach, because it's a bit of a pain, to be honest. If I bring it up on here, you'll have to tell me if you can see it, like, clearly. If I bring... Right, there we go. Bought that. Let me bring my charts up. I'll try and zoom in a bit. So, let's do what's called a delta brief. We start with descent. So for our descent, we have got VNAV. Descent. We want to be descending at around 240 knots. Transition level. No idea. I'm going to leave it at 195. I think it's about there. On the chart, it says, given by ATC. There is no ATC down there. I'm going to keep it 195. It's above 13,000 feet. I know that much. We've got a speed limit of 250 knots below 10,000 feet. That's also fine. So that's the descent. We've got the descent in there. Next then is our approach. Sorry, not our approach, our arrival, I should say. So we're expecting the Madeb 1 Bravo with an RNAV 08 Yankee approach with the Elmham transition. And like you said last week, the transition is the point where we stop using this arrival and we start on our actual approach. And there's sometimes for different approaches there's multiple ones, because you know, an approach might the transition might be depending whether you're coming from the north or the south, or depending on what direction you're coming from. Just keeping an eye on my speed. Don't want to start over speeding. Right. So the arrival then. We have got the Madeb 1 Bravo. We have page 10-2 Alpha for Innsbruck. It's effective from the 20th of June. So normally in a multi-crew cockpit, you'd now turn to your person and go, "Are you looking at the same chart as me?" Yes, I am. Right. Our first point then is Madeb. Let's find Madeb in our legs. Madeb. Right. We're going to bring Elmham up to there. Make sure we get rid of all these discontinuities. I can't fucking pronounce that word lately. I don't know what's going on. So Madeb, we can see we want to be 13,000 feet or above. So we're going to put that in there. 13,000 feet or above. That's this 13,000 here. The blue line underneath means above 13,000. Keep an eye on the speed. See, the speed is about where I want it now, so I'm just going to bring this back. So, from Madeb, we're expecting a track of 099 for 11.7 miles. That's going to take us to Elmham. So, 098, that's within 1 degree, 11.7 miles, Elmham, 13,000 feet or above. And that's it. That's our arrival. That is our entire arrival. So as we can see, looking at it, we need some notes here. We need RNAV 5 or BRNAV approval required. RNAV 5 means our equipment is certified to be accurate to within 5 miles. It is. GNSS required. So we need global satellite. I can't remember what GNSS stands for off the top of my head. I'm sure somebody in the chat will know. Speaking specifically about Dan here. Non-RNAV aircraft, that's fine. We're not non-RNAV. Oh my god, I can't speak. We're not a non-RNAV aircraft. Why is that so difficult to say? Right. Approach. That's the next one. So, here we go. Here's our approach. Let's go through and make sure we've got the right page. We've got page 12-1. It's effective from the 8th of October. It's for Innsbruck, and it's the RMP Yankee 08. That is what we have. We are coming from Elmem, which is there. This is it. This is the one we want. So, there is a massive fucking paragraph up here. I don't expect you to be able to read it. I will read it out to you. Story time, children. Right. This procedure is for cloud breaking only, provided effective external visual reference to the terrain exists and can be maintained from at or before the missed approach point. Continue visually along the prescribed track, identical to the missed approach track, and the required vertical descent profile. The runway may not be or remains in sight at all times, but other visual cues surrounding the track and vicinity of the aerodrome may be used as sufficient external visual reference. Right, what does that mean? What that means is, so normally, on an approach, when you get to your missed approach point, if you can't see the runway, you go around. What this means on this procedure is basically to get us out of cloud. That's it. Because we've got such mountainous terrain around us, we want to be able to fucking see where we're going. Because, you know, mountains, we're lower than mountains. I don't want to crash and die. It really ruins your day when you crash and die. So, once we get to this missed approach point, it goes to a dotted line. Basically, we're going to be following that visually. So what it means is, when we get to our missed approach point, as long as we can see the ground and we can see visual cues, i.e. we can see a mountain on the left, we can see a mountain on the right, we can see the town of Innsbruck ahead of us, that's fine. You might not be able to see the runway, but that's fine. That's enough for you to continue the approach. Next warning, pilots shall be well familiar with RNAV procedures in general, but especially with this procedure and terrain along the western part. Basically, know what you're fucking doing, and if you crash, it's your own fault. Try not to crash. Trying to sort out his pieces, it bricked itself 3 times. Yeah, that's not good. That isn't good. Right. Let's have a look through this, because this is where it gets difficult now. So, we've got this little box here, which just shows us how we get to the first point. We're going Elmem. W India, Whiskey India 810, which is in there. Whiskey India 811. Right. Perfect. Whiskey India 811, we need to be 10,600 feet or above, according to this little bottom half of the chart here. Whiskey India 812, 9,600 or above. Whiskey India 813, 8,300 or above. And that is our missed approach point. So if we get down to 8,300 feet and we're still in the clouds, we're going around. If we're out of the clouds, we continue visually. Now this is where it gets a little bit fucked up here. It goes to Whiskey India 814. Sorry, Whiskey India 814 is our missed approach point. Excuse me. Whiskey India 813 is our final approach point. Whiskey India 814 is our minimum of 7,100 feet. 7,100 feet. There we go. So we get down to 7,100 feet and we're still in the clouds. We're going around. We don't want to continue because we're going to crash into a mountain and die. From there, it's actually got us going direct to the runway because we're going visually. But I'm going to help myself out a little bit. We can see the path we're going to follow follows the missed approach path exactly. So we know these points exist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write these with the Whiskey India 006 and the Whiskey India 005. What this will do will mean that I can follow the VNAV. The aircraft will follow that on its own that way. Even on autopilot, it will continue following that route. So we're going to go Whiskey India 006. That one. 084, 2 miles. Perfect. Whiskey India 005. We're expecting 111 at 8.1 miles. 110, 8.1. Perfect. And then the runway. I'm happy with that. So that's helped us out a little bit. That map now has drawn that path for us, so that we can follow it all the way down to the runway. We can also help ourselves out by setting the localizer 111.1. That's going to tell us exactly how far away we are at all times. So 111.1. I'm going to set that in nav 1. And I'm also going to then set Romeo Tango Tango in 2, which is... I can't find what Romeo Tango Tango is. Don't worry about it for now. We'll set that one to... We'll just set that to automatic. That will tune it on its own. So what that's going to do now is if I go around, we've got our route straight to there. So what do we do then? If we're going to follow this path down, we get to Whiskey India 814. We can't see the ground. We go around. So what we're going to do if we go around? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button here. This engages go around mode. That's going to make it basically the aircraft pitch up. I'm going to go full thrust to take off thrust, and we'll be most likely flaps 35. So we're going to go up to flaps 15. Perfect. Once we start climbing, I'm going to put the landing gear away. Once the landing gear is away and we're climbing nice, I'm going to set nav so we follow that route perfectly, because we don't want to be fucking around here. It's going to be a very busy go around if we have to do it. So immediately hit nav so it follows that route. I'm then going to hit FLC. I'm going to set about 200 knots. We don't want to be going stupidly quick. It also helps us climb very, very quickly. And we're going to climb to 9,500 feet. The route we're going to follow is identical to the one that we take to the runway. So we go 814. Let's make sure it's in here. We go from 814. We go 006, 005. And then once we've passed the runway, we go to 103. And then eventually to Romeo Tango Tango, and we enter the hold. And then we just wait and tell us what we're going to do again. So that's all in there. That's our approach. That's set up now how we want it. So let's set the performance. The other thing I'm going to do, normally I like to be 200 knots by the initial approach point, initial approach phase, which on this one is Whiskey India 810. Was he talking to me? No. So Whiskey India 810, I normally like to be 200 knots, and I normally get down to about 160 knots by the final approach point, which on this point is Whiskey India 813 at 8,300 feet. Because this is such a difficult approach, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be right down to my approach speed, which is going to be about 110 knots-ish. By that missed approach point. It means we're going a lot slower down the approach. It gives me more time. If shit suddenly goes wrong, we've got more time to just relax, work out where we are, get sorted. So, let's work out that speed. We go to performance, we go to approach. We need the weather. Now there's no one covering there, so there's no ATIS, which is a shame. So what I need to do is get up the METAR for Innsbruck. So the current weather is 160 at 10, gusting 21. So it's straight across at 10 knots. Fucking hell, it's 80 degrees off, so it's pretty much coming direct from the side at 10 knots, gusting 21. Variable between 100 degrees and 210 degrees. Oh, this is not looking like it's going to be a nice day. 10 kilometers viz, that's a good thing. Few at 11,000 feet, that's a good thing. So we should be able to see the ground. 12 degrees. It is 12 degrees there, and it has a QNH of 1005. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this now. So, we've got an approach speed of 115 knots and a landing speed of 108. Those have been sent. The only other thing we've got to do now is set our minimums. Our minima is 7,100 feet. That is the point where if we can't see the ground, we go around. Takes a long time to set this. Oh, shit, I've gone past it. 7,100 feet. Lovely. Right. So now we need to talk about this because there's a couple of things we might get. We're in a valley here. We might get wind shear. That's a sudden change of wind. And we suddenly start dropping like a rock and our speed disappears. If that happens, I am going to go full thrust immediately. I'm going to pitch up to about 10 degrees, get the gear up, get the flaps to 15, and I'm just going to hold it there. I am not going to do anything until we start climbing away. If that happens when we're down towards the ground, there is a chance, we'll obviously make sure the gear stays out, because there is a chance that we might touch the ground before we actually, touch the runway before we actually go around. So, we just need to be wary of that. Wind shear is fucking terrifying when it actually happens. The other thing is, like I said, that weather is bad. We might not make this on the first attempt. I have purposely bought enough fuel with me that we can do another attempt. If we do 2 attempts and we don't make it, we're going to hold at Romeo Tango Tango, and what we're going to do is we are just going to sit and work out plan of action to go to our alternate. I'm going to make 2 attempts. If I can't get it within 2 attempts, I'm fucking off to our alternate. I'm not doing it again. There's no point, you know, if you can't get in after twice, you're just wasting your time. So we're going to fuck off to Munich. Oh, but we're getting there. I'm just making sure I don't miss anything on the radio. Right. I think that's it, really. I think that's all there is need to talk about for the approach. I've discussed what we're going to do if we get wind shear. I've discussed that the weather's shit. I've discussed the cloud braking procedure. We're just going to take it slow, take it nice and easy, and if we don't feel comfortable, go around. As simple as that. So what do we do after we've landed? Right. We're landing on Alpha. We're landing on 08. We're not going to be off by Alpha. So we're going to aim to be off at Bravo. Let me zoom in as much as I can. That's as much as it'll let me zoom in. Bravo is this one at the end here. So we're going to make a right turn onto Bravo to park somewhere over here. And then that's it. We've parked up, we shut the engine down, and we breathe, and then we go to the pub for a stiff drink. Because we're going to need one after this approach. Right. Let's do a quick fuel check. We're coming up on Comob. We're 27 miles from Comob. Comob. Right. Comob is... Oh, I've lost it now on me fucking chart. Comob, we need 797 kilos of fuel. We should have burned 433. Let's have a look. Fuel management. We have 1,523. We've got more than enough fuel. And we've burnt 490. And we should have burnt 549. So actually, yeah, we're saving a bit of fuel there. We're doing well. Right, let's just chill now. The approach is done. I'm not expecting to start my descent for another another 200 miles. So we're going to sit now and enjoy the view. We're going to chillax, relax, look at the view, and prepare ourselves for what is going to be an absolute fuck up of an approach. Gonna go have a nap, but leave the stream on. Enjoy your nap, Ginger Squid. Lovely zesty drink. Right. Where are we then? Let's have a look. We are currently about halfway through Belgium. It's not too far now. It's not too bad. We can live with that. How long have we got left? Let's have a look. Oh, where do I see my en route time on this thing? There is a way, but I just can't remember how. What does that do? Advisory? No. Ooh. Status. Is it in status? It's not in status. Flight log? We've been en route for 50 minutes. We'll work it out manually, screw it. We are, so Comob, we've got how long to go? I don't even fucking know, you know. My mind's gone blank. It's gone entirely blank. Performance menu, VNav setup, VNav monitor. We got 270 miles. We're doing 459. We've got like half an hour left. We've got about 40 minutes. It's a fairly short stream today, isn't it? It's not the longest of streams this time. Even still, it should make. Like I said, this arrival should make for quite an interesting one. Even if you don't stick around at the moment, I would come back when the arrival's here because my god, it's going to be fun. Also, if you are enjoying this, like, feel free to leave a follow. You don't have to, but you know, keeps you up to date when we're going live. Not only that, if you are interested, and you are enjoying this. If you've got any sort of requests for flights and things like that, drop us a message on our Discord. You'll see if you look just below in the About Me section or in the panel section, there should be an invite there to our Discord channel, the Firing Blanks Public. Come drop us a message. There's a few of us who stream quite regularly, a bit of everything as well. So I tend to do mostly flight sim. But you've got Solar Rocket, you've got Game with Cookies, you've got... They tend to do like CS, Tomb Raider, bits like that. You've got... Who else have we got? You've got RJ Parkey, he's doing a bit of Red Dead at the moment, trying to get Red Dead 2 story finished. You've got Crip in a Box. Crip in a Box does just nuts, like, nerdy shit. Building things that I wouldn't even know how to build, and engineering crap, and playing games like 2 Point. And he also gets very annoyed when you ruin some of his hard work in games. It's brilliant. He likes to make things as efficient as possible, and then I come along and ruin it. And yeah, he loves that. He does. He absolutely loves that. You got Oscar Rock. He does a bit of music producing. He also does a bit of CS. If any of that sounds interesting, join the Discord. Other than at the end of the stream, I promise that'll be the last time I push the Discord channel now. Ah, well, this is nice and relaxing. So what's everybody up to today anyway? How's everyone's day going? Anyone doing anything interesting? go to a showcase view for now, shall we? Get a nice view. I still love how pretty this game is. The clouds are a bit shit, admittedly. But like the reflections on the aircraft and stuff. Right, we're getting to the end of his airspace now. I imagine he'll be calling us any minute to tell us to contact Unicom. Because there's no one active afterwards. Ah, there is somebody controlling Innsbruck at the moment. There's a lot of people flying to Innsbruck. It's got 14 arrivals going on at the moment. Whew. Unicom on 122.8, November Whiskey Tango, bye bye. There he is, he's called us to tell us to contact Unicom. Let's give them a call. I need to get back in the cockpit to do that. Not hang around outside, that's no good. Right. 122.8, that should shut the radio up for a little bit as well. There we go. And relax. So there is someone controlling Innsbruck at the moment. I'm not entirely sure when I'm supposed to contact them. I'm sure we'll find out eventually. Let's have a look. We should be getting a little bit closer to our top of descent now. Let's have another quick look. 116 miles. It's getting close. So let's have a look. It's going to be so Adisa. After Adisa, what's the next one? I've lost Adisa. There it is. Adisa. So the distance between Adisa and VATSIM, actually. So we've got 80 miles. Yeah, so not far after Adisa, we'll start our descent. While staring longingly out the window. Hope you're enjoying the chill music. So we've officially left Belgium now. Crossed over into Germany. No one's covering this area at the moment, so just have a look on here. So So we've not too far to go. So there is a controller, like I said, at Innsbruck. We've got an approach controller there. So I don't really know when I'm supposed to contact them with VATSIM. I don't know, because I'm on Unicom at the moment, so I'm not going to get automatically passed over. I would assume just before I start the actual approach. So what I'll probably do... what was our first point? Madeb. So just before we get to Madeb... Well, I suppose when Madeb is our next active point, we'll contact them. Unless he calls me before that and says, can you talk to me, please? In which case, yeah, that's what we'll do. But this is definitely going to make for an interesting approach today. It is a windy day. I'm going to have a look, actually, see if the weather's updated. Because I can't remember when that was. When was it the last one made? That was at 13:50, so nearly an hour ago. There should be another one. There we go, 15:12. No, 15:12. What am I on about? Fucking... I'm not with it today, am I? 14:20. 20 minutes ago. Well, nearly half an hour ago, actually. So, at 14:20, the wind actually was only 150 at 12, so it's still quite far off. It's still like 70 degrees off, so it's basically a full crosswind. But it's only 12 knots now. We haven't got that gust, which is nice. And it's variable between 110 and 200. It'd be nice if it was closer to 110, but I probably fear it's going to be more like 200. We've got 10k viz. It's still broken at 11,000 feet. That's fine because our minimum is 7,100. And that's 11,000 feet above the airfield as well, don't forget. So we should have a lovely clear run down there. We should be through the clouds in no time. Shouldn't be too bad. There's also actually since we started the flight, there's been a new. Well, it's not since we started the flight actually. Since that paperwork was made, there has been an updated forecast. So let's have a look. 270 at 10, cav OK. Becoming between 12 and 2, 070 at 10, gusting 25. So yeah, we're expecting 070, straight down the runway though, 070 is the forecast, gusting 25. The runway's 08, so it's pretty much straight down the runway. There is that tempo though of 130, that's obviously what we're getting at the moment, the 130 at 20, gusting 35. That is, I mean, it is a breezy day in Austria at the moment. I have obviously practiced this, so it's not my it's not my first time going in. I've tried to practice this off stream, and that went okay, but that was with much calmer winds. I'm still not 100% on this aircraft yet, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, I'll give you a bit of better of a view like that. Yeah, I'm still not 100% on this aircraft. You know, I fly 737s for a living. This is a whole different breed. I also don't have a second pilot to catch my fuck-ups like I do in real life. Either way though, we sit here, we chillin'. Enjoying the view. It's a bit jumpy, isn't it? All over the place, that view. I don't know why it's doing that. I just love how quiet it is at 45,000 feet. There's just no one else up this high. It's so nice. Ooh, getting bounced around a little bit. Bit of turbulence. Hold on to your drinks. Flight Sim Track is hosting my stream with one view. I'm pretty sure that's... If that's an actual person, thank you very much. If that's just the app, thank you very much for the app. Pretty sure that's the extension that just shows how many, like, shows where we are on a map. Either way, it adds a viewer, doesn't it? So you can't really complain to that. I mean, I'll tell you what, I've got these blink cameras on my house, and they're going fucking crazy today. Every time the sun goes behind a cloud, it sets the bloody camera off. It's a right pain in the arse. It reflects off the, like, cause we've got, obviously the driveway's a bit damp still, and it just keeps reflecting off that, which means I've just looked at my phone and I've got like 40 fucking notifications for my CCTV cameras. Just chilling to the music. Quite excited about this approach now. Like I said, I'm not in my career. I'm not actually with my company. I'm not qualified to actually do these approaches into Innsbruck. I mean, it's actually on the Innsbruck, if the sort of airport pages sort of thing, the information that we get about the airport, and they specifically say that if you want to land when the visibility is less than like 5 kilometers or something, less than 5 or less than 3 kilometers, basically whenever it's shit weather, you have to have either landed there in clear weather or practiced in a full motion simulator. And our company's even more specific. So our company then, like you have to have trained in the simulator for it. You have to have read the documents. You have to be fully prepared for this approach before they'll even roster you a flight here. Well, there's Edessa, and we know just after Edessa we'll be starting our descent. So we shouldn't have too far left now, 40 miles. So it's about halfway now to VATSIM. We start our descent. So we're going to descend down, straight down to about 13,000 feet. Let's see if we can pick up the ATIS. Well, when we can pick up the ATIS. Let me have a look. So the ATIS for LOWI, which is so Lima Oscar Whiskey India.
Beep, beep, motherfucker!
Hey Goose, thank you very much for the follow. How are you doing today? Right, so the ATIS 126.025. Let's put that on COM2. Let's get that on COM2 and see if we can pick it up yet. Decimal 025. Right, we have the weather. Let's turn that off. What is going on? Someone is fucking... Someone's got a stuck microphone, by the sounds of it, on Unicom. Make sure it's not me. I don't believe it's me. It doesn't say it's me. It's always a good sign when you hear someone's got a stuck mic. It's nice to know it's not you. But that is very annoying, that noise. So we've got the weather anyway. So we've got information whiskey. 150 at 12 knots. Basically what we said before. 150 at 12 knots. Variable between 110, 200. 10 kilometers visibility. Broken at 11,000 feet. It's 12 degrees. 1005. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to prepare for that. I'm going to set 1005. There. In the standby. Oh my god, will someone make this noise go away? Fuck's sake. That is horrendous. Well, we got 10 miles to our top of descent. We know we're going to be going down to 13,000 feet. So let's just start our descent. We're not going to start it. We're going to set up our descent. Sorry, I'm distracted by that noise. I really shouldn't be. 13,000 feet. Lovely. We've got VNAV path is armed. We're still on standard pressure at the moment, which is a bit of a... Well, basically, we'll stay on standard pressure. Once we start descending, I'll switch to 1005, which will give us our altitude, because we don't want to go down to flight level 130. It's 13,000 feet, which is what we're after. So the path's starting to come in. So we're watching here. If you look at the top, we've got V out at the moment, going to path. Top of descent is flashing. There we go, we're in path. Let's bring the speed back, otherwise... Because what will happen is, it will just pitch down to start following that path. It won't care about the speed. I've got to control the speed using the throttle. So let's set 1005. Oh my god, someone stop that fucking microphone, seriously. Let go of your mic. Oh, I've just noticed I'm 97 followers. If you are watching and you're not following and you fancy helping me get to 100 followers, because I am so close, I've only just noticed that. 97. I remember being stuck at like 4 followers. This is incredible. Well, we've started our descent, which is good. Oh, it's a little bit bumpy, which we knew. We did see it was going to be bumpy all the way down. Right, I'm going to turn him off on here. And we know we're going to be speaking to approach, so 119.275. Oh shit, wrong button. 119, not 199. Sorry, I've just got to get rid of that mic. It's there. Oh, thank God for that. Right, so now we're speaking to... who are we speaking to? Innsbruck approach. Fucking hell. So there is wind shear now. We've heard that there is wind shear being reported. So we're going to keep... what I'm going to do... I'm going to keep the automatics in on this approach as long as I can. I'm flying single pilot, so by keeping the automatics in, I'm alleviating some of the workload myself. It gives me... If I'm manually flying, which, you know, I can do if I wanted to, the issue we have is... I'm then focused on flying. It's very easy. I might miss the speed suddenly dropping off. I might miss being sight off because I'll be preoccupied. Especially when it's a very busy approach and, you know, you've got wind shear, you've got strong crosswinds. So we'll leave the automatics in, assuming they're doing their job, basically. If the automatics start going a bit crazy and it starts going all over the place and it's not following it very well, not an issue. I will just follow it myself. I will disconnect and do it myself. Oh, so I won't talk to him just yet. Let's get through the descent checklist now. We've started this descent. Pressurization set, ice protection set, altimeters set and cross-checked, exterior lights are set. Done. Next is the approach checklist. We'll do that as we're a little bit lower. So we're going now to Osdov. Let me bring up my paperwork. We've gone through Batob. We're going to Osdov. Which is 43 miles, and then Madeb. Madeb is only 8 miles from Ostov, so we'll probably contact them when we're getting closer to Ostov. Keeping on that speed. This is going well. This is going all right now. So far, I haven't fucked it up just yet.
Yeah, 650 in the fuel check on the hotel at LOWI.
Number 6950, traffic control department, expectation.
Expect late please, traffic 680.
Should we give him a call now? Where are we? How far away? We're 20 miles from our stop. Let's give him a call now. Innsbruck approach. Hello, November 525 Whiskey Tango is descending altitude 13,000 feet. Direct Osdorf. Have information Whiskey and requesting the RMP Yankee runway 08.
Number 25, this is travel to the radar. There, I expect it's RMP
RMP
Yankee runway 08.
Yankee runway 08. November 525 Whiskey Tango. There we go. Send flight level 140, November 525 Whiskey Tango. Okay, so we've given us flight level 140, so we're just going to set this up a little bit. 140, we're going to set standard again. Obviously we had to take a gamble on 13,000 feet because we weren't talking to anyone at the time. So that's cleared that up. Look at that weather radar. The weather radar on this is a bit odd. It seems to be very over the top when it like you never. It just seems to be solid red 90% of the time. It's very rare you see that in real life. You know, not every cloud gets picked up on it. You know what I mean? Depends on the density of the water in it. Either way, we're getting close now. I'm going to turn on the engine and wing anti-ice. Just to stop us freezing over, basically. ILS DME runway 0. Is there an ILS DME runway 08? I don't think there is. I could be wrong, but I'm almost certain there is no ILS 08. So I don't know what approach that guy's doing, but it ain't the right one. Unless he's going somewhere. I don't know. Maybe he's going somewhere else. Oh, it's bumpy. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the seatbelt sights on. The seatbelt signs on now, because it's getting quite bumpy. So let's get them sat down. And it's going to get even bumpier once we hit these clouds. Send altitude 13,000 feet, QNH 1005, cleared RMP Yankee 08, November 525 Whiskey Tango. There we go, so we're cleared now down to 13,000 feet. So we're going to set 1005, which we've done. Okay, now it's bumpy, it's bumpy! Right, 1005, 13,000 feet, we're cleared for the approach. So we can descend now with the approach, we're cleared to go ahead and do. We're not clear to land, but we are clear to carry out the approach. Speed's bouncing around all over the place. Going to hold about 220 at the moment, and then come back to about 200 at the initial approach fix, but we're going to just start then getting down. So when we hit the final approach point, rather than what I'd normally be at, it's about 160, I'm going to be down at our approach speed. Fucking. Look at it, look at that speed bug. We are bouncing around all over the place. Fuck me, that turbulence is a bit of a bugger, innit? Jesus Christ. What's the outside look? How iced over are we? Ooh, that's icy. That's icy. Right, we're coming out of the red at least now and into the yellow. Hopefully it will calm down a little bit right now. It's starting to calm down a little bit now. It's nice. That was horrendous for a minute there. We're bouncing all over the place. Right, I need to get the chart up so I can see what I'm doing. Right, it's come back to about 200 knots now.
Altitude.
Got 1,000 feet to go, that's fine. Okay, we could descend now down to 10,600 with the approach. We are cleared for the approach, so we can continue the descent. Okay, we're cleared for the approach. Let's arm the approach now. Look at that. There we go. Coming out of those clouds. Look, that is beautiful. That is gorgeous, that is. I need to slow down though. I'm still going way too quick. Okay, let's set the next altitude, which is 9,600. go flat 15. Right, there we go. We're holding nice now. So let's go through the checklist. Landing data is confirmed. Crew briefing complete. Flat 15's got set. EGNX is set. Minimums are set. Fuel transfer is off. Exterior lights as required. Just the landing light off. We're not clear for landing yet. Ice protection system's done. Flat 15. Passenger briefing's complete. Seats are upright. Seats and belts right. Lovely. We can now go down to 8,300. Is our next altitude. Seat belts are secure. Passenger light safety buttons on. Pressurization set. Lovely. Then to the landing checklist. Okay, we're a little bit high on that path. I'm going to get the gear down now, which should help us come down. That is gorgeous though, and we're visual. We've got that cloud brake procedure. Just about to see the runway, but again, it doesn't matter too much at the moment.
Altitude.
And flap 35. Let's slow to our approach speed. Roger, we'll keep the speed up. November 525 Whiskey Tango. Right, he's asked us to keep the speed up a little bit, which is fine. What we'll do, I'll go back to flats 15. And we'll hold about 160 knots. Next is 7,100. We're still a little bit high. I'm just trying to get down a little bit. Capture that glide path. That's fine. Come on, I'm just going to go off autopilot for a minute. Just to try and capture. It's not capturing the glide path, which is a pain. There we go, glide path captured. There we go. We are clear. We're stable. We can continue. Yep, that's fine. Minimums. We are. Can't quite see the runway, but we said with this approach, we can hold about 180. November 525 Whiskey Tango. I don't really want to be going any faster. I don't really want to be going any slower than 180 because otherwise we're going to struggle to slow down. You know, it's 180 is still quite quick really for this approach, considering where we are. So we're still not quite cleared for the to land yet, but that's fine. So now we're visual. We're not on an instrument approach. Well, we are still IFR, but we're doing a visual approach now. Once we start getting down though to about 2 miles from Whiskey India 005, I want to start bringing our speed back to our approach speed again, to be honest, whether there's someone behind us or not, because at that point we're 5 miles from the runway, you know what I mean? We don't want to be, we're 4.5 miles from the runway. We don't want to be going ridiculous speeds towards the runway like that. Clear to land, runway 08, November Whiskey Tango. Right, we are clear to land. Let's get the landing light on.
It would be appreciated if you became by a Bravo without
A-firm, that's no problem, November Whiskey Tango. So he wants us off by Bravo. Let's start getting the speed back.
Number 55, Whiskey Tango, traffic in the station. There is a live aircraft now. Yes, it should be.
We'll go November Whiskey Tango. Right. So we've got landing gear down in 3 greens. Flaps 35, speed brakes to 0, airspeed back to VREF, autopilot off once we get down close enough. Lovely. There's the runway ahead of us. Ignore that aircraft that's ahead of us, it's just because we've got live traffic on VATSIM. Watching my speed.
Autopilot.
Okay, I'm going to go manual. The wind's blowing us across a little bit. Fucking hell, that wind's really blowing us across, isn't it? I'm not happy with that, but we're okay though, we're still on. It is breezy! Right. It is very breezy. A little bit high, that's fine, I'm just in that. Fucking hell, I can't. Oh my god, this is bouncing around all over the place. Oh, that's busy. Let's get straight. Right, let's get off this runway. Let's get vacated off this runway nice and quick. Not too quick though, because it is very icy. It was a bit of a bumpy landing, but in that weather, we hit a bit of wind shear at the end there. Right. Lovely. We're not doing a go around. Okay, speed brake 0%. Get those back up, get the flaps up. Pitot and static heat off. Ice protection systems, they can go off now. Via Bravo to the apron, November 525 Whiskey Tango. And just for information, we had a little bit of wind shear there, about 200 feet. Get the landing light and the strobe lights off. There we go. We are here. We've made it to Innsbruck. Where are we supposed to park? He said onto the apron. Obviously, he's not fussed where we park. Let's find a gap. That'll do. Appreciate the parking's not the best. Right, let's get her shut down. Emergency lights off. Standby float display off. Avionics off. Lovely. Right, let's get these engines off. Wait till they're below about 10% on the EN1. Seatbelts off. Beacons off. Cancel off those warnings. And there we go. We've made it. Is that the guy that was landing behind us? I'm guessing. Right. We made it. We're here. Landing, not the best, admittedly. But honestly, we hit some serious wind shear on the way down there. That last couple of 100 feet, to be honest. It was sort of touch and go, actually, whether I was going to go around or not. But we managed to just sort of pull it back. But as you saw how it just suddenly just dropped out of the sky. And what that was the wind changing by such a strong degree right at the end. And we just lost lift. And that's what I say, wind shear, fuck me, wind shear is horrible. You experience that in real life, it is terrifying. The worst thing you hear, actually, is you sat there, you're doing your approach, and all of a sudden, especially on the 737, you get the automated wind shear. You're like, oh fuck. Your heart sinks for a minute. It's not nice. But here we are. We're in Innsbruck. We made it. We're not dead. The aircraft's in one bit. Let's get a nice finishing view, shall we? Should we look around? Look at that view, though. Is that not just stunning? I absolutely love this game for the views. That is beautiful. So, thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave me a follow. If you want to suggest another flight, if you've got anything you want to chat about, join the Discord. There's an invite down below in the panels. There's an invite in the About Me section as well. You're all welcome to join. Other than that, so I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Hopefully not too long this time. I was hoping to get this one done earlier in the week, but I've been feeling a bit crap this week. But yeah, so hopefully the next one won't be too long. I'm not sure where we're going to go yet. I'm sure we'll pick somewhere that's got just as interesting approach as this. Maybe the little Greek islands, something like that. Some very nice approaches in the Greek islands. We might even go from here down to Greece. How about that? But yeah, so thank you everyone for watching. You've been great. And I will see you all next time.